All right. So as I was saying before I got interrupted. Okay. Well, there are many signs, and we see many signs, early signs. Inflation is easing as we round out this year. We're not out of the woods yet. Inflation is still something to watch in 2023. Keep in mind that inflation just went up. So a few weeks ago, we saw interest rates at a 7.5%, 7.6%, 7.6%. Now we see interest rates at 6.3%. It went down a quarter, which is awesome. From 6.33%, it went down to 6.31%, which is amazing. It makes a difference in payments, especially when you go just a quarter. I mean, it can make $100 difference. And if you're going a percentage, it can go a little bit further than that. So that's something to watch in 2023. Right now, experts are factoring all of this in the mortgage rate forecast for next year. And if we average those forecasts together, experts say we can expect rates to stabilize a bit more in 2023, whether that's between 5.5% and 6.5%. So this is what they've been saying and talking about for next year, that the rates are going to be between 5.5 and 6.5%, which is pretty awesome. So it's hard for experts to say exactly where they're going to land, but based on the average projections, a more predictable rate is likely to stay ahead. So what we're looking at for projections in 2023, the first quarter, there's a lot of things that they're saying. So for the first quarter in 2023, they're saying that the average rate is going to be 6.35%. We're looking at Freddie Mac is saying 6.60%, Fannie Mae 6.50%, MBA 6.20%, and NAR saying 6.10%. So we don't know what's going to happen, but you guys have to stay a little bit clear, informed and all that. But like I've told you guys before, over and over, you fall in love with a house and you divorce the rate. You can always refinance depending on what type of loan you have. You can always refinance a 30, 15 year. I'm not a lender just in case, but that is the option. You fall in love with a house, you're not going to get the same price later on. Hey, you know what? Right now it's just to take on that opportunity. So for the second quarter, we're looking at 6.5%. I'll just give you guys the average of all the four of them. So for quarter one, we're looking at 6.35% interest rate. The 2023 second quarter, we're looking at a 6.5%. And on the third quarter, we're looking at a 5.90% interest rate. Now, on the fourth quarter, we're looking at a little bit lower than 5%, 5.9%, which is 5.73%. And the reason, and I've been saying this, next year on the third quarter is when interest rates are going to come down a little bit. We don't know what the interest rate is going to be, but this is something that we've actually have talked about. That means, we'll start the year around 6.5%, 6.3%, depending on what it is. Right now it's the Fed's controlling everything, inflation, and inflation keeps on going up. Those interest rates are going to keep on going up. If those interest rates are going to, if that inflation is going to keep on coming down, then the interest rates are going to continue coming down. But we can see rates tick down if inflation continues to drop, and this is what I've been telling you guys. So as Greg McBride, Chief Financial Analyst at Bankrate, explains, mortgage rates could pull back meaningful next year if inflation pressure eases. So that is going to be something very, very important. In the meantime, expect some volatile as rates will likely fluctuate in the weeks ahead. So like I told you guys, this has been a roller coaster. We don't know. Yes, it keeps on going up and down, up and down, up and down. If we see inflation come back under control, that would be good news for the housing market. That means we're going to, right now, you guys have to take advantage, because if you guys don't take advantage of this right now, keep in mind, we're still in a housing shortage. As we're in a housing shortage, once those interest rates come down and inflation eases, everything's it's gonna blow up again. So we might not see a market like 2019, 2020, 2021. It's not gonna be like that. I don't know. I don't have a little crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, it would be a totally different story. But this is what we're expecting for 2023. If inflation eases and interest rates come down and inflation comes down, you know people are going to be ready to buy again, but prices are going to be up. We're going to look at multiple offers. It's going to be insane. So what will happen to home prices next year? Home prices will always be defined by supply and demand. So previously on my previous videos, I had been talking to you guys about inflation. Home prices are going to be between 2.7% and a 4.6% increase appreciation. That is good because in the past years, we've been having a 20% increase in the home appreciation every single year. Now we're looking at flattening up, but everything can change. So, the more buyers and fewer homes are on the market, the more home prices will rise. So that means it's supply and demand completely. So, and that's exactly what we saw during the pandemic, supply and demand. But this year, things change. We've seen home prices moderate and housing supply grow as buyer demand pulled back due to higher mortgage rates. And the reason that they have pulled because of the higher mortgage rates is because they've been pushed out of the market. Meaning that, say for instance, they were looking at a $500,000 home, they can't afford a $500,000 home. That means they would have to look at $300,000, $250,000 home depending on their situation. So that's what we've been looking at. So in this case, we saw this, and this is what we saw during the pandemic. But this year, things change. We've seen more, like I told you guys, people have pulled back because of the mortgage rates. But there's different type of programs out there that can actually help you guys, different benefits. The level of moderation has varied by local area. And this is going to be depending on what market you are. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Georgia. The market is booming here. We're still selling houses. We're still getting under contracts. It's going to depend on your local market. But with the biggest changes happening in overheated markets, but what do experts think that will continue to happen? So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of the forecast of what we're predicting for 2023 is, so let me see here. Some experts are saying that home prices will appreciate next year, and others are saying home prices will come down. But then again, if we take the average of the forecast, we can feel that 2023, it all depends. It's going to come down to what is coming down in the market. What is your area? What are people looking for? Are you in rural areas? Are you in hot city markets? It depends. But the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. That means nationally we'll see relatively flat or neutral appreciation. This is what I talked to you guys about. That it's going to be a flat appreciation. We're looking at a 2.7%, 2.6% to a 4.7%. That does not mean that your house will depreciate. No, it's just going to be a slow increase in prices. So as Lawrence Young, Chief Economics at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, after a big boom over the past 2 years, there will be essentially no change nationally. So what is this saying? What is this indicating? Half of the country may experience small price gains, while other half may see slight price declines. But you still have equity in your home. So the housing market for 2023 is going to be defined by mortgage rates. And rates will be determined by inflation. So it's a domino process. It's a domino effect, and this is really, really interesting and really important for you guys to know. The housing market in 2023 is going to be defined by mortgage rates, and rates will be determined by inflation. So if you think that the housing market is going to crash, it is not going to crash at all. This is not 2008. We're still in low supply. Yes, some houses are still coming to the market. We're not seeing that many houses hitting on the market because people already have their equity. If you have a house that is at a 3%, right? Do you think I'm going to sell my house at a 3% to get a house for a higher interest rate? No, unless I have to. It's like, okay, so I have to actually move and do this. That's a totally different story. But there's different situations that actually can help you and benefit you during this time. Meaning that there's some builders that will actually, hey, some builders are offering $25,000 incentives, meaning that they will pay for your closing costs. They will pay for your interest rate down. These are the factors that you guys have to actually look at versus saying, right now is not the time to buy. I don't have any options. I don't have any benefits. The benefit of being a homeowner is completely different than being a renter, because once you're a renter, you're actually throwing away your money. But when you are a homeowner, it's a totally different story. You get that tax incentive, meaning that you can write off your taxes. You get that homestead exemption. There's many things to look at in a positive way. And you can do whatever you want in your home. Meaning that, hey, you know what? If you want to put some paintings, you want to put some, build a frame or change the fixtures, you can do all that because it is called yours. So my name is Cindy Presgraves with Cindy's Realty Group, and if you guys have any questions, please comment below, and see you next time.